Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people say Trump was elected because of what is going on with white America, their low birth rate and the fear of a black and brown America. Now, ladies and gentlemen, things are definitely changing on a demographic level in the United States. There's no doubt about it. Many of us are seeing the effects of it on our own. So we certainly don't need it pointed out, but we definitely know what's happening. This came out in the Miami Herald. No, it's not the economy, stupid. Trump supporters fear a black and brown America. Yes, they do. No doubt about it. All right, y'all, let's get into it. We're going to try something different today. Rather than pontificate yet again upon the motives of Donald Trump supporters, I'll let a few of them explain themselves in their own words. Here then is Robert with a comparative analysis of the 44th and 45th presidents. President Trump has accomplished more positive things for this nation in less than 2 years than the last three have accomplished in 20 plus years. After the past 8 years of a Muslim Marxist in the White House, this nation could not survive another dimwit in the White House. Could you please list one thing the dimwit party has done for the black people in America? Well, to be honest with you, Robert, I can't even list nothing the Republican Party has done for black America. Y'all keep pointing that out, and that's all fine and good, but what has the Republican Party done for black America? Okay, that's why I don't like either party, because none of you have done a thing for us. So why point out one side, one side, and not point out what your side have failed to do as well? I'm just saying. Other than hand out government freebies for their continued votes. Now, what freebies are black people getting? I must be missing those freebies, y'all. Now, I do know of the freebies that white Americans got, free land, the Head Right program, FHA, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, I know about those freebies, but I feel these freebies that y'all be talking about must be invisible. And as far as welfare is concerned, all black people are not on welfare. In fact, the majority of us are not even getting welfare. So I know, so that's not a freebie, because I must be missing out on that too. Never in my life was my family on welfare. My father was a United Auto Worker for 32 years. My mother worked for the local newspaper for 22 years. They brought salaries home. We were not on welfare ever. So I don't know why y'all keep talking like the entire black community been on welfare, but we know white people are clearly on welfare. As I told you before, both of my parents come out of rural America down in Georgia. And I've been in the Piggly Wiggly down there and seen plenty of white women whip out them EBT cards paying for food. So, no, you definitely don't want to go there with me. I've seen it, and I'm not the only black person that have been in supermarkets and seen white women with them EBT cards. Here's Gary take on demographic change. America has a constitution which guarantees equal rights for all, and yet people like you hunger for change that put people like me in the back of the bus. You seem eager to know what it would be like to be in the driver's seat. You need to look no further than Zimbabwe and South Africa. Well, why do we have to look in other lands, Gary? I mean, seriously, America's not like Zimbabwe and South Africa. So why do you have to point to other locations on this earth to make your point? When people like you started driving the bus, the wheels came off, and that's what terrifies people like me. Bad example, Gary. Bad example. Bad example. This column is presented as a service for those progressive readers who are struggling with something I said in this space, namely that I see no point in trying to reason with Trump voters. I first wrote that over a month ago, and I'm still hearing now disappointed. They are at my refusal to reach out. So I thought I might be valuable to hear from the people I've failed to reach out to. Well, just judging from what they're saying, don't look like we've been missing much. That's the way I see it. I'm sure some of you think those emails were cherry picked to highlight the intolerance of Trump voters. They weren't. They are, in fact, a representative sample of a single day in May called by my assistant Judy. It's still an article of faith for many that the Trump phenomena was born out of fiscal insecurity and primal screaming of working people left behind by a changing economy. But I don't think I've ever, not once, seen an email from a Trump supporter who explained himself in terms of the factory or the coal mine shutting down. I have, however, heard from hundreds like Matthew, who worries about immigrants, and Gerald, who thinks people of color have an alliance against him. No, let me just break this down for you. People of color just want to get rid of all of this oppression that's happening to us. And we really want to fend for ourselves. But we got populations of people that won't leave us alone. We want to be left alone and we want to go on and live our lives. But there are those that claim they don't like us, they want to get rid of us. And as soon as we start talking separation, you don't want to hear that either. Okay? No. See, you want to have the best of both worlds. You want us gone, but then you want to continue to police us. We don't need your policing. As bad as you think that we do, we really truly don't. We don't. And we do have examples through history of being on our own. Like during Reconstruction, there were 200 Black towns built by Black hands that had schools, businesses, farms, and they were doing well. And your white mobs, they knew that too. That's why they went in there and they burnt everything down in over 200 towns that did not need them. Another good example is Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street happened during a time of the Great Depression. White people lost everything. Black people became multimillionaires. That bothered you too. So you went in there and you bombed that up too. So no, we have examples of when we stood on our own 2 feet, but white people wasn't having that. See, because we were making liars out of you. You claimed we couldn't do nothing. We were dumb, but we stood on our own 2 feet and we proved that we could take care of ourselves. That's what bothered you. That's what the white mobs were for, to shut it down. We were getting ahead. We were taking care of ourselves. We were being independent, and that bothered you. You know, so ladies and gentlemen, don't let them come to you and act like you can't do nothing on your own. We have a history of doing something on our own, and we got a history of jealous white mobs coming in and burning everything down, killing people, and taking everything. We got that history too. So, ladies and gentlemen, just like we could stand on our own 2 feet back then, we can very well do it now. you know. But see, they have played on the propaganda of us being stupid. And if we rise up and show we can take care of ourselves, then that debunks all the lies they've been putting out there about us, whether it's face to face or through their government owned media out here. Because that's been the biggest harm to the Black community is mainstream media. So let's get back to this. Such people validate the verdict of a growing body of scholarship that says, in the words of a new study by University of Kansas professor David N. Smith and Eric Hanley, the decisive reason that white, male, older, and less educated voters are disproportionately pro-Trump is that they share his prejudices and wanted domineering, aggressive leaders. It's not really working out too well for you. Donald Trump is falling apart. Okay, he's been impeached. So, I mean, he's just not looking so good these days, not only here in America, but around the world. He's being mocked and laughed at. America don't get the respect that it once got in this world. We see it falling. We see it every day. Look, I get it. That's a hard pill for those progressive to have kin or friends among Trump supporters. We love who we love, even when they or we are small, unkind, and disappointing. That's what family is about. We love who we love, and let no one make you feel compelled to apologize for that. I don't know why anybody Black would care about that. But let's go on. But at the same time, let us be clear-eyed and tough-minded in assessing what's happened to our country and why. How else can we salvage it from the likes of a Trumper who says Trump was needed to get things back in order? How can a man that don't even have control over his own life get things back in order? I'm just I'm sorry, y'all, but it don't look like Trump got anything back in order. But I do want him to get reelected. We haven't had entertainment like this in this country when it comes down to the presidency. Ugh, not since I can remember. He's definitely entertainment. After the terrible job done by President Obama, he wrote, "We're sick of paying welfare to so many of your brothers who don't know what work and integrity means." That's a big lie. The majority of Black people in this country are not on welfare. That's a big lie, and y'all been telling that lie for a long time. If anything, more white people are on welfare. And if you don't like what I'm saying, then your fight is with the US Census, because they put those numbers out every single year of who's on welfare, and white people overwhelmingly get more welfare than anyone else. And you claim you're the bigger group, so of course that would make sense. But y'all keep trying to point to us, and that's been debunked a long time ago. It's been debunked. You know, We are not on welfare, and most Black people I know want to work. I don't know who these Black people are that don't want to work and don't have integrity. White people, please show us who these people are, because we don't know who they are that you keep talking about. Who are they? What are their names? Where are they from? You know, why are you finding all these Black people and we're in the Black community and we're not seeing that? We see a bunch of people that want to get up and go to work. How come we're not seeing what you see? I'm just asking because y'all been saying that all through the years, and everyone in my Black family, they want to work. They got jobs, they get up every day and they go to work. You know, and that's the way it's always been. My mother had 5 sisters that were teachers. One that's a head nurse, she's an RN. My grandmother was a school teacher. Everybody worked, the men and the women. So when y'all keep talking about these Black people that don't want to work, who are these Black people? Who are they, white people? Who are they? I hope you keep writing these articles and reminding my white Christian brothers that we did the right thing and we need to reelect Trump. Oh, I definitely want Trump to be reelected, because I mean, now the world don't respect America. So can you imagine what it's going to be like 4 years into a second term? I mean, this man is already being mocked all over the world. So I have 2 words for those progressive who think it's possible to reason with that. You first. Reason with what? I like how these people think everything they say makes sense, and it doesn't. It doesn't. Trump is impeached. If he was doing such a bang up job, impeachment would not have been on anybody's mind when it comes down to him. He's officially impeached. Number 2, I like how they say, well, Democrats don't do nothing for the Black community. Republicans don't do nothing for the Black community. What the fuck are you talking about? None of y'all do anything for the Black community. That's why I don't like either party. I don't like either party. It just seems like y'all grew up learning a lot of stereotypes, and this is how racism is done. Then they take these same talking points, give them to the next generation and the next generation and the next, and it just continues on. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Wow. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. And these people want to know why no one is listening to them. They want to know why. Woo! Peace, family.